we should talk about this quickly. This is disappointing. But just like with DeSantis and just like with Trump and just like with a lot of other ones, they are not perfect. But I can still support them despite that. Here is Vivek saying the first thing I've seen him say that I'm really disappointed with. And you know what it is already, chat.
Yeah.
Maybe we can give Vivek that on some interpretation here, but I don't know. He says, quote, racism didn't really exist in ancient Rome. Emperors were white, black, Arab didn't matter, he says.
Sure.
The color of your skin was like the color of your eyes. Citizenship is the distinction they drew. It wasn't just about what you got in return. It was about your duty to your nation. Right.
What a historical moron you are, Vivek. What are you doing?
Let's approach this.
Why would you tweet to me like this?
I don't know. Let's approach this a bit at a time, ramping up to the worst bit at the end. I think the point he's trying to make is that to the question of whether you're a worthwhile person, your race doesn't necessarily matter. And I say necessarily because that's the individualist perspective. And I agree with him there. That is correct. There are tendencies, but individuals can always defy a large enough group. So that's fine. If that's what you were trying to say, Vivek, oh boy, did you blunder it. Oh boy, did you fumble it.
Yeah.
Now, we'll ramp up now. Eye color. Doesn't matter, right? It's just, it could be anything. No, it does matter. They align with racial variances throughout history with different lineages. They probably align quite strongly with personality. Yes, they do. I was taught a lot during my childhood, and it's become it was a common refrain through most of my life. It's just a random variation humans have. It doesn't really matter. No, pretty much every variation human has comes from something or indicates a lineage of some kind or indicates traits or something like that. So no, eye color does matter, just like race does. It does make a difference. Individuals can defy their traits, yes, but the traits still indicate things in aggregate. For example, Vivek is an Indian, but he's a good guy. He seems to be, mostly. There are many Indians that aren't, and I would say the majority of them wouldn't really fit in.
I don't mind Vivek. He's fine, but like, he's not an American. But he's an American, I suppose. But he doesn't ascribe to the people who built America. Did all have the same color of skin. They had the same couple of colors of eyes. I mean, like, and that would have, so I mean, there is a distinction there, Vivek. The people who built Rome specifically is what you're looking at there. Definitely had a pretty specific ethnicity.
The top of the ramp, no, Vivek. I don't think there was a single emperor that was black or Arab of ancient Rome.
Who was black or Arab? That's also bizarre. Who was black or Arab? Who was a emperor of Rome? What are you talking about?
I don't think there were any. I may be wrong. I don't read things, so I don't know. But chat, am I wrong? Were there any?
I do.
Was there a single one ever?
I also listen to Roman history all the time, kind of stuff, because what is it? Have you seen that meme where it's like all men want is to all men care about is Roman history? Yeah, but that's what I do too. So I mean,
Motch and I have a funny story about that. We could tell you after the stream, maybe.
I'm not sure about that, Vivek. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's accurate.
If we take Vivek literally here, and it's really hard not to, because it's hard to know what the hell he means otherwise. No, Vivek.
Oh, Philip the Arab, because he was born in Syria, but he's Italian. Come on, get out of here. We all know this.
Even if there's an Arab, there isn't a black. I don't think he's going to find one. And he said that they were. Now, Zephyr said he's both wrong and suitable as a doctor of history. I don't know what you mean by that. Romans didn't care if and only if you proved to be strong despite your ethnic and racial superiority. The Romans actively had a culture around hating others and thinking they were less than Rome. So I think that's probably what we're getting onto here. That probably what Vivek means, and this is my very generous olive branch, trying to make what he said make sense, is that emperors were black, white, etc. He means the office in principle was any race. I'm not sure that's even true. But if that's what he means, I get his point. But holy shit, you bungled your point here. You really could have worded that a lot better if that's what you meant.
Have you heard of Scipio Africanus? Yeah, of course I've heard of Scipio Africanus. But just because his name was Africanus does not mean he was black.
Yeah.
That's that whole kind of thing, though. That's that new history. New history doesn't rely on facts or evidence. It's just like, I don't care what you heard. Cleopatra was black. Okay. The Greek. Yeah. Jesus H. Christ.
What I have heard is that Cleopatra's a tomboy. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's true, but I think there's like a reconstruction of her and she has short hair, but that might have been a flaw. Who knows?
Protect Cleopatra tomboys.
Hasima says, is it possible he had an intern write his Twitter post? Boy, I hope so, but then why hasn't he taken it down? Yeah. Why hasn't he taken it down? It's not, does not give him any leeway except for like a few minutes until he notices it. But how long has it been now? This was posted more than 24 hours ago. Nope. He now either consents to this or somehow still doesn't know, but I think that's very unlikely.
Yeah, unlikely.
Oh, he says Emperor Septimus Severus, which I'm pretty sure that's the guy north of the College of Winterhold who's in the cave. He's not close enough. Born in Libya. He wasn't black or Arab, though. Emperor Marcus Julius Philippus.
His name was Scipio.
Born in Arabia, known as Philip the Arab. There you go. That was the one you mentioned. He says the fact that people think these things are so incredible as to be implausible reveals how our understanding of history has become necessarily
Italians. But they were Italians. But they were white. If you think Italians are white.
Septimius Severus is a really common African name. Didn't you know?
Yes.
Doesn't it sound African? And Marcus Julius Philippus? Holy shit. I mean, that's like Umbatu Zimbabwe. It's the same thing. It's not different.
What's the difference? Yeah. Sounds Vivek, the same to me.
Like, I'm not saying that their names define their race. I'm saying their race is probably not that well known, or not, even if it is indiscernible from history, their names are a pretty good place to start. Now, why are you assuming that just because they were born there that they are racially that way? No, they were probably all Italian.
What a curious thing for someone like Vivek Ramaswamy, who is a Indian man running for, I mean, that's his ethnicity, living in the United States and running for office in the United States.
Here's the nutty part of this.
It's pretty clear where you're from, Vivek.
Here's the nutty part of this. The entire MAGA movement, as far as I've seen, is fine with the racial individualism, as I am.
Exactly.
You didn't need to say this, Vivek. You've overplayed your hand, and now you've made them doubt it. Because you've lied.
You've done something really dumb.
You've done something very stupid. Such a bad idea, Vivek.
Yep. Very stupid.
This was very silly.
Yeah. Bad move.
Can still support him, but it's silly.
But this was I like Vivek as well, but this was dumb.
This was dumb. It's very much a matter of perfect is the enemy of good with modern politics. We keep finding little issues, little doubts, like Trump and Israel, or DeSantis and running against Trump, and Vivek and this weird racial shit. And yeah, they all have something, but they're all much better than their opponent, and even much better than the opponent of that opponent that preceded them. For example, Trump's much better than Romney, like much better. So I'm still happy that things are better, but they're not perfect. They could be a lot better than they are.
Again, I mean, like, I'm not going to relitigate all that stuff we talked about earlier in terms of it's not a black pill, but it's more a discontent with the inherent nature of democracy. But if we're going under democracy, I was pretty happy with Vivek, but this is cringe. Vivek, this is cringe and gay.
Yeah. Now, Vivek, if you have evidence that these two people who were born in countries which, by the way, Libya and Arabia, at some point in history, maybe about 2,000 years ago, were a lot whiter than they are today, just so you know.
Yeah, weird.
But if you have evidence that these people are ethnically Arab or ethnically black, go ahead, post it, man. But this is not it. This is not evidence.
No, he doesn't have evidence of that.
This is a title. This is a birthplace. This is not evidence of racial lineage.
Yeah, it's like saying Aydin of Baltimore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't born in Baltimore, but I grew up there.
Baltimore, I think, is like either majority black or very significantly black.
80%.
80% black. So, yeah, exactly. That's a perfect analogy.
So if I'm Aydin of Baltimore, I'm not black. Sorry, I'm just not. But I mean, I wasn't born there. But if that was like how I became known in history because that's where I grew up in, over the age of 10.
Zephyr says, if you take the modern conception of how people think about these things, it does make sense. People seem to really think, oh, you were born there, you are now Arab, even though that's not how things work. It certainly isn't how things work, no.
Yeah, Emperor Jared Taylor Sama of Nippon. Exactly. Ridiculous.
Was he born in Japan?
No, he wasn't. Oh, no, he was actually. He was. That's why he speaks Japanese.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think he was actually born in Japan, and he grew up there for a couple of years. That's why he speaks Japanese.
He's Japanese.
So Jared Taylor
yellow.
is Japanese.
Jared Taylor, noted white nationalist, is yellow. Thanks, Vivek. Flawless logic.
Exactly. There you go.
Once again, the white supremacist movements are infiltrated by non-whites. Catboy Hispanic Nick Fuentes strikes again.
As does Japanese white supremacist Jared Tera-sama.
Teroru-sama.
Tera do Tera-sama. That's the right way to say it.
I've got her going.
Yeah.